It's not my fault every time you come on here. You just like,
Say this.
you make the episode.
Oh, I don't
It's a
know.
compliment to your personality.
All right, thanks. I'll take the compliment.
Your
I'll
personality and ingenuity.
just- Ingenuity. I'm not.
You say words in a way I've never thought of.
Oh, thank you. I have a way with words. That's how
You
I
do
would
something
say
to
that.
words.
Something. Welcome to Chess Talk. This
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, keep going. You're good.
This is episode 248.
Wow.
Am
Did
I
you
right?
research? You
Am I
sure
right?
did.
That was a total guess.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Is it 248?
Is
It
248?
You knew that.
He
You
100
fucking knew that.
No, I pulled that number. Okay, well, my hint. I know. The other day you mentioned something about 250 coming up.
Yes. Yes.
So I knew we were between 240 and 250. I didn't know where.
Wow.
So I did. I guess my odds weren't as astronomical.
Yeah, you knew between a range of like 5 episodes.
I had a one out of 10 shot of getting that.
As you can hear, Tyler is here,
Yeah.
welcoming us back into 248.
Don't worry, guys. I'm 12 feet away.
So
Very far.
clearly, quarantine is still happening, and Tyler is here, but he was in a tough situation where it was either technically be homeless or go.
Technically, I'm home. Can
Yeah,
you
pretty
do
much.
it better than that?
Technically, I'm homeless. I don't know if that's the run or not, but
It-
I mean, it's great
You guys
still.
close
It's better
enough.
than me.
the spirit.
Yeah, or go to his parents who are at risk. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were like, we got a spare room, so the Chess Talk Studios is now your bedroom.
Yeah.
Pretty
It-
much.
If you don't want to share all that, that's fine. We just want to make sure people aren't like, why do you have a friend over
Yes.
during
Oh, yeah.
this
I
shit?"
know. I think it's very.
I try to keep it very bare bones, but
Yeah.
that is
I don't want this to be the most controversial
Yeah. Because
episode.
we were talking about it, and he's like, I don't want people to think we're being
No.
bad and
No.
breaking quarantine.
Tyler is not leaving the apartment for 2 weeks. He is stuck here.
Yeah.
It's gonna
and
be.
I wasn't really going much of anywhere beforehand anyway, but
Yeah. Now it's like
now
legit
I get to go to the balcony sometimes.
when we let you.
It's this, your life
my
might be
back.
like the lighthouse.
Oh, well, that's
Foreshadowing.
You'll be
interesting.
stuck
You should
somewhere.
mention that because
We have to like check the wind pattern before we let you out on the balcony.
Don't kill any birds.
Yeah.
I don't think I. Oh, never mind. I'll tell you guys after the show.
Okay.
The one time I killed a bird.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just kidding.
Doesn't your dad like veer his car
No.
towards pigeons when he sees them?
He hates pigeons, yeah. He
Oh my
thinks they're
God.
stupid.
No, I'll tell the story now so I don't sound like a bird murderer. One time.
But you said you just killed a bird.
No, I came very close.
It
I
was
used
a
to work
bird
at,
slaughter.
Well, I used to work at a golf course for like a hot minute, the hottest of minutes.
Yeah.
And we don't want birds.
I
on the-
or we?
We.
Okay.
Both.
Change
Because I
up
don't
your
care.
story.
Listen. I didn't love that job, so I didn't care. Anything could have happened there, and I would have been fine with it. But me as a part of the team at the golf course, you know, we didn't want birds on the turf. Do you call it turf? Is
No.
it on the green.
Yeah, I don't
Turf
know.
turf is like.
Well,
Is it still called
I
a
think it's-
green? I'm sorry, I don't want to be an asshole. Is it still called a green when it's mini golf?
No, this was when I worked at a
Yeah,
real
like an
golf
actual course.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Birds were getting into the mini golf area?
I forgot because you worked at the mini golf course for so long. I
why would
forgot
you-
about the golf course.
Listen,
Why would you have
There's a-
killed a bird inside a mini golf place?
First of all,
It's King Putt. Who the fuck knows what happens
as a
there?
mini golf enthusiast, I am offended that the nuances of mini golf are just lumped in with regular old golf.
What are the
Putting
nuances?
is an art, okay?
Okay, I know
But
that. I'm bad at it.
The
so
green is like, isn't that...
I don't know, dude. I don't.
The green is like when you're on, like when you can start putting. And I think turf
is like bad because it's
Yes.
like the sand.
That's
trap
like the
or whatever.
rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about golf.
I only know
Hence
it
why I
from
worked at a
Wii
golf
golf, and I know it's the rough, and then the green, and then there's something else.
Sand pit. Anyways,
I
It's
worked
part
at
of the rough.
We don't want birds on the green
And so
or the turf. We don't want birds
threatened.
anywhere. So we had like a little BB gun that we kept.
Yeah.
Just to scare the birds. And
Did you hit one once?
I came very close.
Okay.
The way that because there was a bird perched on the roof, so I was just like, I see where this is going. So I just kind of, man, no, I just shot. I just feel bad about it because it scared the bird so bad.
It's fine. I don't think the bird remembers.
Yeah.
Well, the bird.
The bird probably died 2 days
but the
later
thing is,
anyway.
nobody saw how it actually looked because I was like on one side of the building, and I saw the bird like fly away, but like other people like because it looked like part of it was missing. Where like I was like, well, no, not part of the bird. Like the,
Okay.
I was like, holy shit.
No, the way that it looked, if you were standing like on the other side of the building, is because I had like a clear view of everything where I saw the bird go off, just like fly low beneath the building, but everybody else that I worked with was on the other side where that part of the roof was obscured, so they all thought that I like was like a perfect shot and shot this bird like clear off the roof.
And it like
amazing.
nosedived.
Yeah, it just
That's
like, it just
impressive.
flew.
You were Betty Draper.
Oh, everybody thought it was like that was the closest I came to like impressing anybody at that job with anything
That's a good way to impress someone.
Yeah.
Birds are shit.
or scare them. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I think I got like fired a week later. Anyway.
Oh.
Unrelated.
Yeah, but,
I'm sorry,
I
sir.
also
You
technically
killed a
not-
bird on our property?
no,
I know.
That
But he probably would have got employee of the month if he did that.
I was kidding.
it would have been
Yeah, high marks.
If only my boss saw that.
Well, that's one way to start an episode.
Yeah.
It's your turn in chess, by the way.
We're gonna get in so much trouble with the animal
Yeah,
rights
the way you were
people.
describing it, it's like this was like an active criminal case, and like the bird's family was pressing charges against you. I was
Well,
like,
I felt bad about it.
It's a shitty ass bird.
I was just trying to scare the bird away.
But you didn't hurt it.
Anyways, how have you been? You haven't been on the podcast. Do you remember the last time you were on the podcast?
I think it was when we talked about Star Wars.
It was when we talked about Star Wars back in January.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Which I still don't like. I think when we talked about it, I was like,
we were all pretty meh on it.
yeah. Well, look, I was like, well, maybe I need to watch it again or whatever, But
Did it help?
I couldn't watch it all in one sitting.
Oh, that's it's a good movie when you have to take breaks
Yeah.
and let it digest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got a real Irishman on your hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right up there. I don't think it was very good.
No.
I wanted to like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people
I
wanted to
come
like
back
it.
to it and be like, you know what, maybe because that's how I felt kind of about The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of even enjoy that movie now to a degree, but like,
Laura Dern's in The Last Jedi, right?
She's
Yeah.
Holdo.
That's
purple
right.
hair.
Which
She's
is-
the one that doesn't talk to
Oh, I know. She's the kamikaze one. I just
for no reason.
forget that's her, and then I've seen her in so many things lately. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
I feel like I never knew she existed, and then she's
She
in
was
all
in
the
Jurassic
things.
Park.
she
Yeah,
is-
but I
and Blue
doesn't mean I
Velvet.
knew.
The
who she
biggest
was.
thing she was in that I can think of is Jurassic Park.
Yeah, because that was like
And now
very
it's
early
like-
in her career.
Marriage Story, Big Little Lies. That's all I can think
Yeah, I was
of.
like, give me three
But, like, those
things.
are two big things that have
Yes.
been
Very
sweeping
recent.
awards shows lately. So she's been very in our presence.
So
She's
aside from
awesome.
Star
I
Wars,
love Laura Dern.
how have you been?
Oh, I've been fine.
Yeah, I know this, pandemic hasn't been good for you. We don't
It's-
need to get into it.
It could be a lot worse, honestly.
Yes. You've been watching more TV. Any like standouts?
Oh my
Any other
God.
media standouts? I would say just like general catch up since the last time you were on, where you were negative on something.
What's something you enjoyed?
Yeah.
What was that? Something?
What did you enjoy?
Well, I've been watching. The main thing I've been watching is Twin Peaks.
You
with my
just
buddy, my
came
buddy
off
Rob.
watching?
Yeah, I literally just watched an episode. Him and I are watching it together at the same time, and we're starting. We started Twin Peaks season 1 maybe like 3 weeks ago. We're making pretty good pace. We're just watching an
well,
episode a
yeah.
day. We're not going crazy. We're not binging it or anything. It's just like
Amateurs.
it's as close as TV back in the day used to be, where you could watch a new episode of the show every day.
Production was really on
that's
point.
how TV works, right?
don't imagine Twin Peaks as a show you really want to binge
Oh
watch.
my god, no,
Okay.
because it's so. Oh my god, no, it's a very. It's a very dense show. I mean, it's David Lynch, so like there's a lot going on even when you don't think there
Nothing.
is. Yeah. So I mean, it's just it was hard for me to get into at first because it's very soapy. I mean, intentionally so. There's stuff you're watching it and it's like, well, he's obviously kind of going for that soap kind of feel, and I think it's kind of he does that to juxtapose when stuff on the show gets really wild and surreal and scary. It's like kind of you have this like soap background and then the stuff happens that's really bizarre, and that's just to make it all the more absurd. So but it is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that because that sounds pretentious, but like
No.
when I say
I would
acquired taste, it's like you really have to commit to it. I'd
Yeah.
say for like the first season.
Yeah, I don't think that's pretentious to say because I tried to watch it years ago and I couldn't get past episode 2.
Oh, me
So,
neither.
but I've heard such good things about it. I know it's like you just have to power through
Yeah,
it.
you really do.
And
You really
Until,
I just
like-
don't have the energy for that right now.
Until you get Stockholm syndrome for the show.
You're just
Yeah.
like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's why everybody's so fanatical about it, because you just put so much time into it.
Does
if
David
you're
Lynch
not
come
obsessed
into
with
your
it-
room and just like hold a gun to your head until you get to like season 2?
I
You
mean,
know
he
what?
used to.
His in a way, he kind of does. Well, he does have a character on the show.
What?
I don't want to say who, because if you haven't seen it before, and
It's like a
I don't-
20-year-old show at
it's-
this point, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
30 years old. I think the first episode's aired in 1990.
1990 to 1991.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he is on the show, and I don't want to say who because it is kind of a delight to see him. You're like, oh, it's David Lynch.
I
But
don't even
his
know what he
character
looks
is
like.
so like,
I don't even know what he looks like.
You'll be
pulling it
watching the show, and you'll just feel like, oh, you know what?
That
guy
person
seem-
doesn't belong.
That guy seems like David Lynch. You'll know. No, his character is very intrusive. Very. He has a presence
Yeah.
on the show, and I don't want to. It's like I said, I don't want to spoil it in case you guys do watch it.
Perfect.
But
Laura Palmer is dead.
yes,
Spoilers.
That's not really as.
I know.
That's,
I know.
That's like
I
the
know.
first shot of the show.
I know. That's
okay,
the joke.
I was like, I don't know. That means
that was the
nothing to me.
joke.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I've been watching
That was
that,
the
and
joke.
we're probably like about like a third of the way into season 2 right now, and it's been I'm really enjoying it.
Perfect.
Stuff is getting super weird,
That's awesome.
which is what I came for.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. So
Show of the year.
yeah,
1990.
show of the year 30 years
1991.
ago.
I mean, what was its competition in 1990?
Well,
Soap
wasn't Star
operas.
Trek on probably?
Star Trek was
Some of the
probably on.
I know
Simpsons.
Full House was
Simpsons.
airing.
The Simpsons,
Simpsons wasn't.
started that year.
Okay, there you go.
Anyway,
Anything else from the past couple of months that
From,
really
like,
stand out?
media, Movies,
I mean, just anything.
music.
what have you been watching during quarantine?
Mainly Twin Peaks. That's,
All right.
that's all you need, though. Am I right? No.
No.
Of course.
If you have nothing else, that's fine.
well, we watched Tiger King,
Oh yeah.
which I don't want to talk about.
Perfect.
No.
Everybody on that show sucks.
Perfect.
It's just a show of horrible, horrible people that are
Same.
exploitive, cruel. So that's
So don't watch Succession.
really.
Well, Tiger King's about real people.
yeah,
I know,
Tiger
I
King
know.
actually happened.
I know. I was just kidding.
It's happening. All those people are still around, except for.
I was like, didn't Joe Exotic
Joe
die?
Exotic.
what?
No, he's in prison.
Oh, he's in prison. Carol Baskin's husband is
Right.
dead. I've never watched the show. I just know all the memes.
He didn't make it out of the show.
Wonder
Oh,
why.
I gotta play chess now.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun.
I'm glad you're not sick.
Britt,
Yes.
how's your week been? Not your past 4 months, just your week.
I worked.
You made muffins.
I did make banana nut
Was that
muffins.
the first time you
Those
made
are great.
muffins?
Yes.
Okay.
I
that's
made
what thought.
cupcakes once, but I don't really
Very
like.
similar.
I don't like.
Have you
Cake?
never made muffins before?
No.
Not homemade,
No.
bruh.
When you said try, oh, I want to try something new, I thought you meant like, oh, it's like a new muffin recipe.
No, I've
Oh.
never made muffins before.
Really?
Does that change your perspective on how the muffins turned out? As a first-time muffin bake?
Well, yeah. I mean, they were phenomenal. So
I thought they
think
were
that's
okay.
even more- I thought
I think
pretty
they were
good.
a little
liked
dry.
Them, I liked them better than store-bought because, like I said, like they didn't have like the over-sugary like
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah, I did read the recipe, and apparently they reduced the amount of sugar from when they first published it because people said it was too sweet.
Yeah. But I mean, like store-bought muffins
Yeah, they
come
definitely
across
are.
as too sweet for me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I followed King Arthur flower recipe. Not
Hey.
sponsored,
That's
but
literally your Bible.
it is my Bible right now.
And they don't have any recipe books, right?
I think they do.
Oh, okay.
They have a couple, yeah.
Good to know. Are you watching anything new?
No, I'm just rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so
Sure.
I'll be watching
You-
the new episodes.
Yes.
So.
I was like, you watched a new episode of it today.
Yeah.
You are making progress.
I'm getting caught up on that, and then I don't know what the next new show I'm going to watch is.
I know one you need to finish. Watchmen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to watch Watchmen.
I'll fucking watch it with you. I don't care. Even though I just watched like the first 4 episodes, Brittany, I'll do it again with
How
you.
many episodes are there?
9.
9?
My
That's it.
issue with
Oh,
it
that's it?
is
Yeah.
that I'm not into the lore. I never have been.
I'm barely
There's
into the
not
lore.
a lot of lore, though. It's just the one book.
I know, but like,
But the
I
one
don't
book
really
is pretty,
care
like-
about any of the characters.
I'm really surprised you don't like it.
I don't dislike it. Like, I can see why it's fun and like enjoyable.
It's not fun. It's gritty and
I
dark.
mean, to
and-
watch, enjoyable to watch, but like,
Really?
I don't know.
Have you ever tried to read it?
no,
She's never even seen the movie.
no,
The TV show is her first like experience with this universe.
Really?
yes.
I think you should try to track down the book. I think you would at least appreciate it. Because it kind of takes place like in an alternate history.
Oh yeah, she knows.
and-
Yeah, we're getting that from the TV show.
Yeah.
And I'm like explaining, like when they make a reference or something, or like there's a character that they talk about that isn't in the show, like
Yeah.
I'll explain it to her so she like gets the context of it, but I try not to spoil things for
Because
her.
to me, it feels like you should at least have some kind of background knowledge going in.
You probably really should.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
They,
I don't
they
think-
make it very like, even if you don't know, you'll still enjoy the show.
Yeah,
but like,
the show is its own thing.
I'm a type of person where I like to know what's going on at all
But
times.
You're not going to with this show.
I know, but
It
that's
even-
what I
yeah.
enjoy. So I like, even if the exposition is really subtle, I still enjoy the show. But there's so much in this show that like, I don't fucking understand why Ozymandias, that's the guy that's
Yes.
doing all that weird shit on whatever fucking...
Oh, is he still alive?
Well, yes.
That probably wasn't a spoiler.
If you start to watch the show, it probably will be. So
I'm not
Oh,
going to
really?
say anything. I just don't know what the fuck he's doing, and I don't see how that fits into anything, and it's
There-
weird.
the show does explain things.
I know it will
As you
eventually, but
progress.
it's so hard to like watch 4 episodes of it, and still it's just, that's weird when it's just in the middle of all the action.
Yeah.
So that's hard for me to get through. I'm
But it's
sorry.
just-
I know there's so many people listening that hate me right now, but
It's so great though. Like on the
it's funny.
on the rewatch, it's so much better because you know just like the end result of all of it, and you're like, oh,
So there's something that is gonna come out of this bullshit that happens
mean,
every like
you know
Episode?
why it's happening, and like
Wait,
what-
are you talking about the show?
the show.
yeah,
Or the movie?
The show.
we're just talking about the show.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never seen the movie.
Yeah,
But like I don't get this weird shit that's like interspliced between like the main storyline that seems to not progress the plot in any way.
Are they doing like the
It's-
thing like
it's
where
related.
they do in the like in the book? Are they doing like a the Black Freighter?
I don't know what that. I haven't read the book either.
You haven't read it either.
I have not.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I'm
You've
sorry.
seen the movie.
That's
Well,
it.
so
literally, that's my only exposure to the universe.
In the book, they do this thing where they tell the story, but then like kind of in between each like chapter, supposedly, they have like another comic called it's like Tales of the Black Freighter or Pirates of the Black Freighter, something like that. And it seems totally unrelated. It's just about
Yeah.
like these pirates and stuff, and it's like the actual Watchmen has nothing to do with pirates, so it's like so confusing. But then like it all kind of, but then you kind of keep reading it and you realize that like parallels with other stuff that's going on in the story, and it does come back like at the very end, like in a very weird way. So it
I would say it's not
It's-
a super weird way. It is like pretty relevant to the main story.
Oh,
I would
okay.
say, but like it does come across like as you're watching it. It's probably not until like I don't want to say a specific number, but it's later on, like end of the season, where you're like, okay, there is a reason for why he's here and what's going on.
But
I really
during the
wanna-
beginning, it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is the point of this?
Like in the first episode, it cuts away to Ozymandias and what he's doing, and like you don't know who he is or what he's doing. You're just like, what?
are you like supposed to know it's him?
I mean, I didn't know
I
who it
didn't-
was.
I had a feeling when I first watched it, but
Yeah.
like it's never said until the end. I would say until the second half of the show.
Yeah, and I only know because
On Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, when you pause it, it tells you, like, the characters' names in the scene.
I kind of hate that.
Yeah.
So they
I was very
they saw
upset.
his name, and I was like...
very upset when she saw it.
I didn't know who it was until, like, 4 episodes later when they say, this guy, Ozymandias, is doing this thing. I was like, oh, so that's that guy. So I started Watchmen. I'll probably finish it. I will finish it.
At
some point.
I want to get caught up,
Yes.
and then we can watch it.
There was one night I was about to start Fargo,
Yeah.
and then...
I remember that. Because you had it, like, you started it, and then you paused it, and then went to go do something else. Then you never unpaused it. I remember that.
I paused it, and then I started texting with Noelle because she was at the sports complex.
Oh, yeah,
And then
that's
I was
right.
like, well, now I'm not going to watch this. I'm tired.
Fargo, I'm kind of iffy to get into because the last anthology show that I started watching was True Detective, which was incredible for the first season.
That's what I've heard. The
Oh,
first
yeah.
season's
And then-
amazing.
Didn't you watch some of it? With...
My brother watched it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the first season was great, and then the second season was not as good. I don't think it's as bad as people were saying, but it really was not as.
It's hard when
great.
you have an anthology show which recasts the characters, right?
No, they did
just-
like a completely different.
Yeah. It's
thing.
just not even the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
total
Yeah.
anthology.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Totally
anthology
different.
show where you have standout actors in a very, like, different world, and then they're like, let's do it again, but differently.
Yeah.
The bar is set so high that I feel like people go into it with bad expectations.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I didn't want to get started with Fargo because I was like,
Because it is anthology.
yeah, because I was like, I don't want to like start watching
think
this and like it's
and-
just inconsistent.
I think it's anthology, but it is, like, all somehow tied together, right?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I
don't
really
I'll find out eventually.
I don't know much about it. Apparently, it's really good, but
I just know the actor that plays Remus Lupin is in it.
Yeah.
I don't know
Right.
who that is. Gary Oldman,
No,
Daniel Radcliffe.
no.
Um,
David Thewlis.
who?
Yeah, I know.
Lupin. Lupus.
Which one was? Which
He's
one?
the werewolf guy.
He's the dog.
He's Daddy Werewolf.
He's the defense of the dark arts teacher in book 3.
I thought that was
he's-
Gary Oldman. No,
No,
Gary Oldman is
Sirius.
serious.
He's Daddy
Guy.
Werewolf.
Oh yeah.
He's the other ginger that isn't Weasley.
He's not ginger.
He's not
I thought he
ginger.
was.
No, he's like brown.
He's kind of like a me ginger. Let me see again.
Yeah, he's almost there.
Kinda
He's
neat.
like a ambassador for the gingers.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna look like in 10 years.
That's a good look.
Cody, how about you?
I had a good week, I would say.
Okay.
I started the Amazon show, The Man in the High Castle.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not blown away by it at this point, but I am interested. I'm at a weird point of the show. So I do want to continue watching it, but I'm not, like, hooked in.
So I don't want to be mean, but when I first heard about it, I heard such amazing things from people. But I know those people have iffy taste in, like, TV and movies,
Yeah,
so that's why I
absolutely.
was kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost in a way, like, especially this past episode, it's not really a spoiler. They're celebrating VA Day as opposed to VE Day.
Yeah.
It has a very, like, Mad Men vibe to it.
Okay.
But in, you know, like, a Nazi America and Japanese Pacific states. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what year. I'm sure it's easy to look up what
wait.
year
I don't want to do that.
this is set in. But I don't know specifically what year it is, but it feels very much like 60s and 70s vibe. But if the
The Nazis has won the war.
well, yeah, Axis powers.
Yes.
Axis,
Yeah, if they won World War II, because it's like the country is split where the Japanese side has the west and the German side is the east, and then there's like a section down the middle that's like no man's land. So
Weird.
interesting. Don't love it, but it is a very well made show, and I don't recognize any of the actors of it, so there's no like main star power. It's just like, watch the show for the characters.
Okay. Are you ever going to finish The Americans?
I don't know, maybe.
You were like, on it. So.
Yeah, no, I did talk about that on the podcast where I was like, I watched the entire first season, I got a couple episodes in season 2, and then something else came up, and so I'm
Yeah.
So that's where that is. Aside from that, and playing more games and stuff, we didn't stream D&D this week, but we should be doing it this Friday. Aside from all that, we did play a new board game
Yes.
that I did want to talk
Oh,
about.
yes. I think it's your turn. Or
Yeah,
not.
because you moved your rook
Yeah, sure.
last.
I guess. We played a new board game.
We sure did. It was called Arkham Horror. A
Oh
very
my God.
inviting board game name.
Oh my god. Not
And-
about Batman. I thought it was going to be about Batman. But
Man, were
it's-
you disappointed?
You know what?
There is an Arkham Asylum in the game.
There is. Not
There's
about
also-
Batman, though.
There's also like an Arkham like pharmacy or something.
There's Arkham Advertisers, which is like the newspaper.
Yeah, definitely not a pharmacy.
Definitely
I
not.
don't remember a pharmacy.
I don't know. I just
sorry.
made that up totally.
It's a cooperative board game.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to play. It was all of us' first time playing it, and it took about an hour to go through the rules and get all the pieces out.
It was
and
like an
set
hour
up.
and a half.
Yeah, just to
set it up.
Dude, it literally had like 1 million pieces.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of the board games we play do have a fair
Yes.
amount of pieces. So for us, it's not that abnormal for that many pieces. But I'm sure for you, it's like, what the fuck?
This was like if Operation had like 8 cadavers that you had to like set up.
That's still less than this game.
Yeah, still.
But I enjoyed it. We got the shit kicked out of us.
Oh yeah. It was real bad.
It was fun. I probably picked a very underpowered character.
See, I looked into the game after because I was just
Uh-oh.
like, what did we fuck up?
Yeah.
And then someone said, well, it was actually really easy my first time. And like, we started and I was playing the character I had and then someone else. And it was like, we started losing really fast, so we just started over. But then we
me.
came back with the character you played and someone else. And we won so easily. I was like,
Rex
how
Murphy.
the fuck
You
did you
had?
win so easy?
I think my main issue, because I was playing Rex Murphy, the reporter. I work
a
for Arkham
reporter.
Advertisers. It's set in the 1920s.
What's like kind of the synopsis of the game, real quick?
Oh, yeah.
You're set in the town of Arkham.
It's a cooperative game.
Yeah,
not,
I already said that.
Not Batman Arkham.
Arkham,
Fictional city-
Massachusetts.
Fictional city of Arkham on its own universe, but it's set in the like eldritch horror kind of realm, hence Arkham Horror. There's Cthulhu-esque old god monsters, and it is just you and your fellow investigators, that's the players, trying to find out what's going on and stop it before the old gods can realize their power and destroy not only Arkham, but the world. That's kind of the general vibe of it. I think my main problem, or my main mistake of that first game that we played, because you roll dice in this game to resolve things, and my character, I had to get a 6 to succeed any roll, no matter what, regardless of the situation or whatever.
And you did that maybe 3 times.
Yes. Fuck, I'm bad at rolling die, who knew? But I think my biggest mistake was I went into combat on like my first turn. Mm-hmm. So that bogged me down for 3 or 4 turns in a row. So I think that is the main issue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I was able to just like bounce around and just pick things up, maybe I would have got better rolls, maybe not, who knows, but
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Setup was a while. I'm sure it'll be faster next time. It always
Oh,
is hard
Yeah.
the first time we play, but
if we play it again soon, I think it'll maybe take us 15 minutes to set up and start playing.
Yeah.
So
Probably, yeah.
and I think we just pick all new characters and just try.
I thought it was pretty fun, actually.
Yeah.
Once I got
I did
over
enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I literally, like, I would say 70% of my turns I did nothing, but I still really
Well,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
yeah.
It gets very frustrating, but like not like in a bad way. It's more like frustrated because you're like invested in what's going on.
Yeah.
But
What's-
yeah, I kind of I don't know. Once I got over it not being like a Batman thing, it was more like, oh, it's like a. I was really excited about that. It was, but it's more like a Lovecraft type.
Yeah,
thing.
It
that's
is
what it is.
exactly
Sorry.
that.
Yeah, so all the different monsters and concepts and stuff, very Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I'm not like a huge fan, but like I can kind of, I can ride with this. So it's pretty cool.
I think the main strength of it is that it is a cooperative game, and so like we were sitting
Yeah.
there and like I was trying to like offer my insight on like what I would do and things like that, and like I felt like we were working as a team to try and like coordinate who's going where, who's
Yeah.
doing
You have
what.
to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it fun is like it's not one person kicking the shit out of everyone else.
Yeah.
We're all just getting dirt shoved in our mouth
Yes.
by these Arkham horrors.
Yeah.
We got so fucked.
We lost pretty hard.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Azathoth came to power.
I think one Mythos phase gave us like 5 Doom.
Right. Yeah.
The Mythos phase is broken as fuck.
That's the one thing that I don't get about the game. There's like a round in the game, like there's like what, like 4 action rounds per every round or something.
There's like 4 phases of each round.
Right, the first
one's
like an
action.
Yeah, so like you move or attack something. The second one you
monsters.
You have to fight a monster, or the
Or they
monsters regenerate or move or something. And then the third one is the Mythos or the
encounter.
Encounters, which we didn't get to do very often.
Yeah, because you can't. Because you can't. There are encounter cards, and you have to draw an encounter card for that round, but you can't draw an encounter card if you're already engaged with a monster. And we were constantly engaged with monsters.
Right.
Yes.
And encounters is how you get clues, which is how you
Win the
progress
game.
in the good way.
Yeah.
Not the bad way.
Yeah.
So
And then it's Mythos, which it's 90% bad things
that's
happen.
the worst part of the game, and I
Yes.
have no idea. Just based off of our last experience, like I don't know how you possibly overcome that stage.
Yeah.
I don't think you do. I think it's just, I don't want to say punishment, but it is just like the kind of balance to having more people, because the less people that are there, the less Mythos things that are pulled, and so it's like less
That's
bad
true.
things happen.
Yeah, I did
And-
see people talk about it online. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of punishes you for having more players.
I bet it's like
Yeah.
this game is really good at 2 players.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's like you can move around more and you're less likely to encounter enemies and pull things from Mythos. But again, I think a lot of our problems stemmed from the fact that I was very handicapped in our
Yeah.
play session.
Because you had that
I
roll 6
liked
there.
my player, and I felt like I could do a lot, but then I kept getting bogged down by the monsters that we
Yes.
kept drawing that
Yep.
you couldn't kill, and
Nope.
so they kept coming to other people.
Yep.
Fucking.
I had a character that like definitely was able to survive because everything that I had was pretty like well rounded out, so I wasn't gonna get like eliminated or killed by a monster
Yeah.
or something, which was good. But nothing about my character really gave us an edge
No.
in
Yeah.
the game. I was just like a librarian or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
I had a good item that would let me like stop you from taking damage, but it would like do damage to me. But the only time it got useful was when I was already like dying.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do it and just kill myself trying to save you guys. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. No, again, it's something I definitely want to play again.
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
And it's also tough because it is a very long like game once you start playing.
Oh, dude, we were probably playing that game for like 3 hours,
Yeah.
like including setup time.
Yeah, the box has like estimated time of like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It was fun though. I
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
And I want to try to do it again and not lose.
and not lose. That's
Yeah.
the big point.
Yeah.
And
I enjoy the like narrative type games
Yes.
where it's like different scenarios happen. It's like what Discover Lands Unknown could have been.
yes.
That was a whatever game.
Yeah. And I don't think it would work on the podcast unless we ever did like a
Oh
video.
my god.
We would need to do like a video podcast where the listeners could like see the board.
Or like
Yeah.
if you want, yeah.
It's very
it's-
visual.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because there's like a bajillion different pieces.
Yeah. And like places, and it's like, oh, this has 3 Doom. And it's like, how are you gonna remember?
we have like a full-on map, and then you have
Yes.
like at any one point you'll have like 20 different kinds of tokens.
Yeah.
And then like you draw more tokens from the Mythos stage, which like
Yeah.
gives you.
I think there's just too much happening that you need to see.
Yeah.
So
You can't remember it all audioly.
yeah, I would love to see them
Orally.
do it on the Funhouse board game show.
Yeah, if they
I
have
think
it.
that'd be fun
Yeah.
to watch and
Right.
see like other people play it.
And try.
Yeah, because I don't fucking get it. I
Well-
don't see how you win.
Right. We can find out.
Maybe.
So I mean, that's the weekly catch-up talk,
Yeah.
which I kind of expected, and that's why there's only one main topic of this episode.
Yeah, I was like, I can't think of what we're talking about besides the
We're talking about the Lighthouse.
weird. It's almost like we
yeah.
brought that up earlier.
We brought that up last week as well.
Oh, we did. Oh.
Yeah, I teased it. It is out on Amazon, so if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it included with your Prime. Also, Prime put out a bunch of South by Southwest movies, so I do want to go through and like see what got released and talk about some of those. I already watched one documentary, but I am interested to see what also came out with South by Southwest. So, but Lighthouse 2019 movie. Spoilers. We're getting into it right now. That was a fucking weird movie.
That was a trippy movie.
I really had no expectations going into it, and I think I enjoyed it. I don't know.
Okay.
It really took me until I read like people talking about it to finally like let it sink in and like
Yeah.
make me understand what I just kind of experienced.
Yeah. I definitely appreciated it. A lot of movies I'll just kind of watch and it'll be like, it won't really stick with me. I'll just kind of watch it. I'll be like, that was entertaining for a couple hours, or whatever. This is definitely a lot of the themes, and I don't know if it was just because it was so stark and so simple with what its setup was, all the set pieces or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was very memorable, and just the intensity of the movie, the emotions that ran throughout it, and everything made for a really interesting movie. The dynamics between Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe were pretty great to watch. I thought they both did a very good job acting. Although I will say I don't know what Robert Pattinson's accent was supposed to be.
It would like switch between like New England accent and then also like him trying to just do an American accent.
Yeah.
Which wasn't like so specifically region.
But then
based.
Sometimes you kind of like felt like I felt like, especially when I got a little angrier, I felt like he was supposed to be from like kind of like maybe like the South, but not like the deep South, but maybe more like somewhere from like, I don't know, like Virginia, West Virginia, maybe like one of the Carolinas or something like that. Like kind of like this weird, like one foot like in New England, the other foot like kind of in the South, the other foot like in like all three of his feet.
This is nothing against Robert Pattinson because I think he's a great actor, but it's very obvious when people are trying to do an American accent because they just kind of guess that
He's American.
Robert Pattinson's British.
What?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Mean,
yeah.
He's kind of like, this is a reoccurring thing with him because like he can't do a French accent either. I just don't think he's good at doing accents.
No.
That's fine.
I could have sworn he was American.
Nah,
No.
dude.
Oh, really?
He was born in London, England.
Oh.
That is super non-American.
That's pretty not American.
Yep.
Accents aside, I think he did a good job.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't want to like.
I think he's a fantastic actor.
And honestly, even that kind of worked for me. It was a little like it kind of like worked towards like the confusing and unsettling nature of the movie.
I felt like there was also a theme of like identity.
Yeah, I wanted to say that too.
So I think that kind of plays into it if it was intentional or not.
Yeah. It's very hard with this movie because there are definitely things that seem like flubs, and I think it's too easy to say it's like, oh well, that was intentional. Like that the huge hark diatribe from Willem Dafoe
that was
where he's
amazing.
cursing, and like
you're
there's the
talking
moment
about,
where
like
the camera like unfocuses, and I saw people defending that and being like, I think that was intentional because it's just like how disorienting Robert Pattinson is, and it's like, no, the camera probably just went unfocused, and they were like, well, Willem Dafoe fucking got the take, so they just kept it in. So,
I noticed that too, and I honestly thought that was maybe like the bandwidth, like kind of.
No, that was definitely because like it like refocused back in. So I think it's just.
Yeah, I just thought maybe since we were streaming it, I thought maybe it was like a little iffy here and there.
Yeah. So like it was a thing. Like I kept seeing people like trying to defend and being like, oh yeah, I think that was super intentional, but it's like
no,
I'm not like dying on this hill
No,
of
no,
things
no.
of being intentional or unintentional. I'm just like, the movie was so fucking weird. I don't want to say what was or wasn't intentional.
Nope.
Because it was just weird.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to some like film buffs that I know that like film, like the technical aspect of it. You know, like people that are. I would love to talk to people like that in person.
I mean, do you guys think that the black and white helped the movie?
Yes. And I did want to bring something up too about that, which is another thing that like, probably isn't. It's probably grasping at straws a little bit. The aspect ratio was like not quite square, but it was pretty close.
Yeah.
When you were watching it like on a widescreen TV, or like if you went to like a theater where I'm sure they don't really adjust the screen. Well, like think about like how it looked on the TV, like like it was square here, but then like the other parts of it were just like dark, and it kind of like created like this negative space for like a lot of the darker parts of the movie, where like they're sitting around the table, and then they're like in the dark, and they're just kind of like covered in shadows, and then it just kind of expands out to the edge of the picture, and then it keeps going even further like into the negative space of the remainder of the screen. I thought that was really interesting. I'm not sure how intentional that was, but I definitely think it had a good effect. Because a lot of times when I watch movies that like purposely do like the square ratio, like did you guys see A Ghost Story?
No.
Okay, so that's another A24 movie.
Of course.
With Ben Affleck's brother.
Casey Affleck?
Yes. Where he's like I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but anyway, that was filmed like in a square ratio, and I was like, okay, I mean, it looks really cool. It was a beautifully shot movie.
Yeah.
It looked excellent, but I was like, I don't really necessarily know why they chose to shoot it in the square ratio, especially when the widescreen, I think, would lend much better to the visual style of this. So my thoughts with the square ratio in this movie, whereas like with that movie, I was like, well, that was clearly like a stylistic choice, but I think that's really all that it was. This looked really good as a stylistic choice because I just thought like I thought that like the square ratio kind of like worked towards that like really claustrophobic kind of self-contained look, and I also really think that like it helped like during the more the darker moments, like it kind of expanded that vast darkness of the setting. So I thought it was really cool the way that it looked, and then it was shot really well, even when stuff went out of focus and stuff. Like I think you're.
I didn't even notice that.
I noticed it here and there.
I noticed it, and I went into like the Reddit discussion expecting people to bring it up like as like a touting it, but I knew it was like no, it's just the fucking camera went on focus. But they're like, hey, they got this 3-minute monologue down,
It was amazing.
Got it.
It was incredible, and I think it really added to kind of like the raw feeling that they were going for with just such a limited budget and set and cast. I think it really worked with the feel of the movie.
But I don't know if I read it like people talking about the director specifically saying this was intentional, but they were saying like it's supposed to lend itself to a claustrophobic feeling because they're stuck in isolation for so long. They wanted it to kind of make you feel that way too. So I don't think it was just a stylistic choice, even though it was really really nice to look at, but they were trying to use that to emphasize their themes.
And I think it totally worked.
I wouldn't even say it was nice to look at personally. I thought it kind of was like grating to just watch nothing but black and white and then like this square box. It's just, I don't know. I felt like it added to this like discomfort I got, especially like with the like last, main scene where like the
I
movie
couldn't watch that.
got super. I can't remember the last time I felt so uncomfortable watching a movie.
Yeah.
During that scene where it got so distorted and his like
when he's like
howling.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was like
That was creepy as fuck.
That was
I saw
like-
someone compare that to
I thought
Annihilation.
That was cool, dude. Yeah,
Yes.
you know what? It did remind me of Annihilation.
It reminded me of that, but like this was like, whereas Annihilation was just like pure like awe.
Yeah.
This was like horror.
Yeah.
Like this was like I was terrified and I didn't know what I was feeling, but it was just pure like unsettled.
Yeah.
So
I wanna. I don't know if it's jumping the gun, but like, what do you guys think the movie was about? Because I read some comments where I feel pretty, regardless of what the director like intended, because
About
I don't.
Gay.
Yes, I don't
there's
know
a lot
if
of
you
homoerotic
knew this,
undertones.
but the movie started, or the movie came to be because the director saw a like famous photo or picture drawn by this German artist.
It was called like Hypnosis.
It's
or
the
something?
one
Yes.
where like he catches him. It's the dream that he's having, right? Where where it's
Willem
Willem
Dafoe
Dafoe's
looks at
looking
him
down. He's like
This
naked.
one.
And he's
Eyes.
like, yeah, because I've seen
Yes.
that before.
Yeah.
And then I also, before seeing this movie, I think like on Twitter or something, I saw somebody like take that photo.
Compare it.
And then like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's in the Lighthouse. So
Yeah,
I didn't.
So that's the director saw that and was like, I want to make a movie about that. That's literally it.
yeah.
But I think this movie definitely has more meaning to it than that, or like
Yeah.
more going on within like the narrative and stuff. Like, so what do you guys think the movie is about, or what have you heard?
I think there's probably a lot going on with this
Yes.
movie, but like what I got away from it, just kind of watching it was, I think it was just kind of a movie about like masculinity, like
Okay.
in different forms, different ways. Like I think there were a lot of symbols and that kind of indicated that it was like there was a power dynamic there. The
Yeah.
lighthouse itself being tall, he was the only one that he was able to. Willem Dafoe was the only one that was able to go into the lighthouse, and that was kind of like a power hierarchy there that he had created. I thought there was kind of like a power dynamic that really played into kind of like a toxic masculinity type of dynamic there, where he was kind of trying to dominate Robert Pattinson's character like
Yeah.
in like a power type way.
Absolutely.
The light, and then the lighthouse, I think you can kind of read as kind of like this like phallic symbol as well. It's which it's
I think in the script it's described as phallic.
really
Yeah, I read that.
doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think there was also kind of like like there was kind of that like power work dynamic there between the two of them. I think there was also kind of like a father-son thing going on. I think there was also like kind of like a also like a homoerotic kind of
they were
thing, like a
definitely
very,
about
there
to
was
make out.
like a very like there was a lot of like sexual tension between the two of them, which it's kind of, I don't know, I mean, we just watched it, so it's kind of like I don't really know how to like reconcile those two different dynamics there.
I don't think you need to.
Kind of like a, almost like, what is that, like a Oedipus type thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Britt,
He wants to,
what do
like-
you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
After I watched it, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I just watched.
Same.
Yeah.
And I was very like, okay, and I just wanted to forget about it. And then I've read other people's interpretations, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. That's weird too.
Because
I don't know.
I can get into mine. It's something I did read, but after, thinking about it, I do think that this is probably what they were going for. Is that were you about to say something?
I was going to say the director, I want to asterisk that. The director's never really come out and said
No.
what it's about.
But I think, let me just say, and then it's like, there is so much like, I don't know, symbolism, metaphors, whatever. It's just like, it's kind of like easy to get it.
Yeah.
It's, the lighthouse area is like the purgatory.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson is dying.
Okay.
Like, in real life, he is dying, and like the Wilem Dafoe character, what he says is like he is stuck out in the snow and whatever, and like this is all some sort of like manic thing happening all inside his head. That's actually what's happening. And the lighthouse and the light is a symbol for heaven. And he
Okay.
is being denied access to heaven, and he is constantly trying to get it and trying to get into heaven. Whereas, like, the darkness and everything that's surrounding him is, like, the other side, the hell, or
Yeah.
whatever. And that's what he's, like, succumbed to. It's also, like, not a play, but, like, it also works as, like, a symbol of him being, like, an angel, and how he forces his way into heaven and, like, gets into heaven and, like, embraces it, and then, like, falls from grace, and so he's almost like a Lucifer type figure.
Okay.
Or, like, he falls down and, like, breaks his leg. So I think the main thing is, like, purgatory, and on top of that, it's also Wilem Dafoe is, like, his older self.
Because I did see something where in one version, the subtitles, their
Yes.
names weren't Thomas and Tommy or whatever. It was old and young.
Yes. And at the end, when he falls down the stairs and stuff, like, that could easily be where he broke his leg and gets the hobble and things like that. And I think that's why, Wilem Dafoe's character's name is Thomas, because I feel like he, like, dropped the charade, and whereas Robert Pattinson is still, like, struggling with whatever.
Asshole.
Yeah, that's me. He is, like, still, like, trying to hide the fact of who he is, whereas, like, Wilem Dafoe is just very upfront and, like, this is who he is. He knows what he is, and he's dealt with this. He has lost his mind after however many iterations of this purgatory that exists, and he is, like, upfront with who he is, what sins he has, since it is, like, a heavenly kind of symbolism. So that's what I think it is. This island is purgatory. Robert Pattinson is dying, and he is being forced to confront his sins and try to get his way into heaven.
That makes a lot of sense, especially because like when they're not trying to get up to the lighthouse, he's like like drinking and just just jerking off and
Yeah, like there's wrath, there's lust,
Yeah.
there's I think pride, like how he like doesn't want to listen to the like authority figure and like thinks he's better than it, things like that. So it's like when you put it in that like context, it's like you could like easily fit
could
these
see it.
categories into it.
Yeah.
There is I don't know how this applies to the whole movie, but it just kind of tells the myth of Prometheus.
Yeah, obviously with like the seagulls eating him as he's like
He's tried to steal the fire from the
Yeah. Yep.
gods and then was cast down and
There's
sentenced
exactly.
to be
tons
eaten
of
by birds.
mythology stuff.
Oh, yeah.
which I'm not super
It's-
well versed in mythology, so
Yeah, that's
It's-
the only one that I know of.
it's like a smash together of like both of those things, because it's weird how the last quote unquote realistic shot is him falling down the lighthouse, and then it cuts away, and suddenly he's on the beach,
Yeah.
being eaten alive by seagulls and stuff. So it's like clearly reality is not
Yeah.
totally happening on this little island.
Yeah.
For a while, I thought that maybe they were the same person.
I do think that they are. I think
Yeah.
they are the same person, but Willem Dafoe is the older version.
Yeah.
Yeah. I buy that.
Yeah.
I just think it's a weird movie.
Yeah. What really tripped me up the most is when Willem Dafoe would talk about like time shifting and stuff, and it
Yeah.
really threw me for a loop because
How long you think we've
That
been
was
on
weeks
this
ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That
Like-
was like 2 minutes ago.
yeah, I was like, I can't believe anything, like what scene was when or who is saying what. Like that fucked me up watching the movie.
Yeah. It was very, very disorienting in that way.
Yeah,
But I really liked it.
I mean, I did like it, but I can't lie and say that I wasn't bored watching it. Like there were definitely scenes and
Really?
stuff where I was just like, man, like I did enjoy the movie at the end of it, and especially like looking into it and like seeing the themes and things like that. That does bring up the enjoyment. But I would have hated watching this in the theaters, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It just like for so long, it's just two guys living on an island with a fucking lighthouse.
Yeah, there's kind of a lull to it, but that's kind of like what was interesting to me is like, when are they gonna snap? So that's kind of what kept me.
Yeah,
kinda what kept me going.
I knew that was gonna happen too, but I don't know. It just doesn't make it like easier to swallow in my mind.
I didn't think it was incredibly boring. It wasn't a super long movie either, which helped.
It was 2 hours.
It was under 2 hours.
It was about 2 hours.
It was under 2 hours.
Felt like 2 hours.
You feel like 2 hours.
Sure do.
I don't know. I didn't find it particularly boring.
Yeah, I'm not saying
personally,
like
but-
I hated the movie because of that. I just want to say like that is definitely like a negative when I go to score this movie. Is that I did feel the runtime of this movie, and I felt like there were definite lulls going on. You're in check. You can't do that.
What? Why
If
am
you
I
move
check?
your knight, you're in check.
How?
Queen, bruh.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay, well,
Give me that piece back.
okay. If we had a Lighthouse type movie, it would be us playing chess for 2 weeks.
I would not watch it.
I hope no one would.
And me just losing every day, and me just going crazy. Why can't I win chess? Why am I just always bad at this game?
I
And
was
then-
very excited to see this movie.
I know you were talking about it when it was in theaters. You're like, I really want to go see this.
Yeah. I probably would have enjoyed it more in theaters.
Okay. I mean, I probably would too, but it's just
I enjoy movies more when I have like, as long as people aren't talking.
as long as there's zero distractions in a movie theater, you're like, this is.
I just feel like that's the environment it should be seen in.
Absolutely.
That being said, it was not what I expected at all. I just expected like story and like a character study, which it was, but I didn't expect like the horror weird elements to it.
You didn't
And
expect
that-
to see a mermaid's vagina,
That was weird, but okay.
But then he like screamed when he saw it.
but he still
Same.
fucked it.
No, he didn't.
Did that happen?
He fucked that mermaid.
But did it happen though?
Did he see the mermaid vagina?
Did any
Yeah.
of that happen?
I kind
Who
of
knows?
Like, I kind
If
of
he
like,
saw the mermaid vagina, how could he have not fucked it? If the vision of him seeing the mermaid didn't happen, then the vision of him having sex with the mermaid didn't happen
I don't
either.
think he ever did though, because I think
Okay,
he-
then
I
it was
think
all
he-
just visions.
Well, yeah, the mermaid was.
Was Paul Bettany in this movie?
Oh yeah. I know because I thought that like he was, he went on the beach, he saw the mermaid, he was like ready to, get it on with the mermaid.
Yeah.
But then he saw the mermaid genitalia, and he.
Well, no, the mermaid started like screeching, and that's what
That was
got
a
him away.
flappy ass vagina.
I don't know, man. It was all blur.
Anyway,
Was
The
that
mermaid
yesterday
definitely-
or was that weeks ago?
The
I don't
mermaid
know.
definitely wasn't real.
okay.
I don't think the mermaid ever.
Oh, remember when he
existed.
turned into like the Triton type dude or the
the octopus?
Oh, that was
Octopus.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was supposed to be
I don't
hilarious.
think it was.
Yeah.
But it was.
I think that there was definitely humor in this movie, especially.
Oh,
like,
yeah, there was.
After the end of Willem Dafoe's like huge like tirade after he said he didn't like his
It's
cooking.
like, okay, I like your cooking.
He's like,
Fuck.
all right, have it your way. I like your cooking. It's like
Yeah, there was humor.
you're in.
It's
check.
just, it's not what I expected.
Can't do that.
It's not.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
I think you won the game, dude.
You can do that.
All right.
You can give up if you want. You don't
If you
have
want
to
to stop,
I will never give
I mean,
up.
we're probably almost done
Though.
recording,
I
so
keep trying
Never
to say
give up.
my opinions.
please say your
Fuck.
opinions.
You started yelling about mermaid vaginas.
How could I not in this movie?
Anyway, I was very excited to see this movie. It is not what I expected. I'm still trying to process it and understand if I liked it, because it's not what I expected, and I don't want that to solely my opinion of it, but it kind of is right now. I will say I really enjoyed the acting. I think it looked very nice for what it was. Not like, oh my god, it was so pretty, so fun. Like, no, but it created a really good environment, best as it could for not seeing it in a theater. The level of commitment they both had was very impressive.
Like in the scene where Wilem Dafoe is being buried alive.
Yes, I really liked that scene. It was really unsettling, and his acting was great, and I just like that they didn't... There were a lot of, I feel like, long takes of things, where, like, it was just... There were clearly no cuts, and he just had these ridiculous monologues. It felt very theatrical to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Every single time there was a long monologue, I was just thinking in the back of my head, I was like, which one did they audition to?
Yeah.
Because I knew one of those was like what they auditioned for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was all very good.
Yeah.
I liked how theatrical it felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like a play.
And it could be because it is just
So
an island.
it's very weird to say, but it reminded me of Thoroughbreds in that way, because that originally, I think, either was written as a play or the writer is a playwright.
Yeah, I think he's a playwright.
Yeah, I don't think it was written as a play.
Yeah, he is a playwright, though. So I enjoy that kind of thing, but this is maybe a little normie to say, but sometimes things get a little too artsy, and they aren't as fun. And I feel like this kind of towed the line of being really, like, a really interesting character study to being just really artsy, and very specific kinds of people will enjoy it.
And then also, here's a fart joke.
Yes, it was weird. I was like,
Yeah.
it's super artsy, but then it's like half the movie is Willem Dafoe farting and lots of masturbation.
And he fucks a mattress.
Yeah, maybe it's a guy movie. I don't know, but it wasn't what I expected or what I really wanted, but I can see the value in it.
Yeah.
So I was just a little off put by what I was not expecting.
One thing that we've all said, I think, at some point is like the acting is really good in this movie.
Yes.
I think that has to be kind of like unspoken when you have a movie that is touted as good as it is. When it's literally just two characters, it's like these actors need to be doing a good part to have any sort of like traction coming in for this movie. So
Because they are the movie.
Exactly. Like
There's no supporting cast to make up for them.
No.
There's a mermaid that yells sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, if these actors are not doing a good job, you do not have a movie here.
Yeah.
Check. Damn it.
I mean, don't call it a comeback, but that was cool.
That was pretty cool. So close.
Yeah. So that was my opinion of the movie. I don't know.
Give me my queen.
And I think
No.
I think it's a boy movie. Did it?
Do we have any other thoughts on The Lighthouse? I know we all do. Any other
Robert
thoughts?
Pattinson has nice arms.
He's
What?
got a pretty good physique. I could see him as
Yeah.
Batman. He could
Yeah.
be my Batman.
Yeah. He
I
could be
hope
my
that
Batman.
I hope that movie comes out.
I think Robert Pattinson had a very unfortunate start to his career.
No,
And
it
it's-
didn't.
no.
That movie made a millions. Of
No,
dollars,
I don't mean
dude.
like financially. I mean like it sullied people to the idea of him.
Just made him work harder.
Yeah.
Yes. But all I'm saying is he had a good start financially, and now he can do whatever the fuck he wants, clearly.
Yeah.
He's doing fine.
I like him. I'm saying I really like him, and I'm trying to defend him, and
Can't
y'all
do
are
that.
jumping down
Why
my
can't I
throat.
do that?
Because my queen is protecting it, and that puts you in check.
Because
What
if
are
you
you
move
talking
somewhere that
about?
puts you in check,
Oh.
you can't move there.
Oh, sorry. Here, I'll put that back.
No. Anyway,
I'll go right here.
before y'all jump down my throats.
Tyler, do you have any
Except
thoughts?
for lose this chess game.
It's okay. We've all been there.
I think I don't think I'm gonna win this game.
Okay. Any thoughts on the movie, though?
It's pretty rad.
If you had seen it in 2019, would that have swayed your top movies of the year?
Probably
Okay.
not my top movie of the year. That was obviously Rise of Skywalker.
But it could have made it into your top 5, top 3.
Top 5 for sure.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay. Britt?
What?
Well, I mean, are we ready to rate it?
Sure.
Out of 10, what? is a big one.
Lighthouses, please. Just
No, that's the name of the
Seagulls.
movie. I would say either seagulls or mermaids.
Seagulls.
Okay.
That poor seagull.
Out of 10 seagulls, I can go first if you guys want.
Sure.
I'd probably give it an 8. 8 out of 10 seagulls.
Yeah, I second that.
Okay.
6.5.
Okay.
Half seagulls.
Yeah. But
That poor
are you
seagull.
still like putting that with an asterisk? And that like you still need to like
I
process?
still need to process it. I'm sorry if it's controversial, but I
get it.
I think it's a guy movie. I don't get it. I don't get it. Not
And it's
because
also not gonna-
women dumb, but like I can't relate to anything of it.
And it's also not going to come into play in the Chess Talk Awards 2020, so rating doesn't really matter.
No.
Rate it whatever you want.
Yeah. It was definitely an experience. I recommend watching it, I think.
If you have Amazon Prime and you like the technical, I feel like we say this a lot, but if you like technical aspects of films and just like film, like the art of filmmaking and things like that, you should watch this
Oh,
movie.
absolutely.
I think
That's
that'll
it.
do it for this episode 248.
Are you going to beat him, Tyler?
No.
That's fine. Good game.
GG.
We're shaking hands. It's fine because we're in the same environment.
We didn't really shake
We're gonna,
hands.
we're gonna go wash our hands after this. But that's 248. Thanks for listening. Make sure you give us a listen to our past episodes. Tell your mom, dog, and friend, anyone else you're quarantined with, make them listen to us too.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify and Stitcher, iTunes, fun stuff. We'll be back next week.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, please wash your hands between now and next week at some point.
At least once.
At least once. Preferably more. We'll talk about probably another movie, probably some TV, probably another board game, and that's it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.